So it's been a while since I've actually shown off my entire setup, and it has changed drastically since last time I made a video like this. So we have a lot of parts that are gonna be the same, but also a lot of parts that are brand new. So I'm still using a standing desk from Uplift, although I did change out the butcher block top. The legs themselves are actually still working amazing after all these years, and it still helps me keep my body in motion whenever I'm streaming and also gaming. The top has changed. I'm actually using the Uplift bamboo top because I wanted more depth to be able to house the dual PC setup, which the dual PCs are still the same from the last video. For the stream PC, I'm still rocking the same Corsair pre-built PC, and then for the gaming PC, I'm rocking an i9 12th gen with an RTX 3070 Ti and 32 gigabytes of DDR5 RAM. I love this setup, and I think the dual PC setup is the way to go for streaming, although you don't need an overkill PC like this pre-built Corsair that I have, but it definitely helps having all that power. But offloading the streaming task to the stream PC now allows my gaming PC to get the most out of the Asus OLED 1440p 480Hz monitor that I recently received, and let me tell you, this thing is game changing. Thanks a lot to the person that called me out for having a 1080p monitor, but eventually Brian from BadSeed Tech saw it and decided to give me this monitor as a Christmas gift. So huge shout out to Brian. And also, if you don't know who he is, please go check out his channel. It's BadSeed Tech. He does some pretty amazing reviews on mice, keyboards, monitors, and a whole lot more. For the monitor though, going from 1080p IPS to 1440p OLED was a night and day difference. I will make a video on this pretty soon because man, the colors and how clear it is and just everything is completely unreal about this monitor, and I'm super happy to have it. Since getting this Asus monitor as my main monitor, I just took my Acer Predator monitor, moved it to the right side as my second monitor for my gaming PC, and I'm also still rocking the super old BenQ that I think I got back in like 2013, but I'm still rocking that for my stream PC monitor right now. Now, the only drawback for these monitors that are attached to my gaming PC is that neither of them actually have speakers. So I decided to hook back up my Bose companion speakers, which are pretty solid, maybe a little bit bass heavy, but not too bad and not enough to muddy up the sound to where I just can't listen to it. But when I am looking for crystal clear sound and when I'm gaming, I'm actually using the Kiwi Orchestra lights. And honestly, these have been such a great balance of audio and clarity and just detail, as well as just packing a punch. And for a keyboard, I just recently got my very first Wooting 60HE, and luckily I got the Optimum case and keycap set. I've had a lot of keyboards, and I gotta say this one is my favorite by far. I actually opted to get the Lecker V2 switches, and I actually used the friction mount on this thing, so typing is an absolute pleasure, and I think it sounds pretty amazing. Now, performance-wise, this thing is great. The customization you get through the Wootility software is amazing. It's honestly the best experience I've ever seen for any company that actually has keyboard software. I did make a video on my first impression, so if you want to check that out, feel free, but you better finish watching this one first, or else. And for a mouse that I'm actually rocking with this, I'm using the High Ground Cell Shade Yuma mouse. Now, I love this mouse and the look of it is absolutely amazing. It is by far my favorite mouse to use as far as comfort goes. And even though I have a dual PC setup, I still use one mouse and one keyboard to control both PCs thanks to software called Multiplicity and also the help of the Stream Deck Plus. Multiplicity is a virtual KVM, and I actually have it hotkeyed to my Stream Deck, so switching from one PC to another is super simple. Even with the controls of the Stream Deck Plus on my gaming PC, I still need a Stream Deck for my stream PC. So why not the Stream Deck XL? And no, I'm not compensating for something. More buttons, the better. And genuinely, I feel like this is a tool that people only view as a tool for streaming, but honestly, I use it for recording videos, controlling light, and so much more. And currently, I'm still using the Go XLR and the RA20 setup for the mic system, and honestly, I haven't even thought about using anything else because I personally love the way the RA20 sounds. Not only that, I feel like it is the coolest looking mic on the market. And genuinely, I feel like the Go XLR Mini still gives me all the controls I need with physical faders and also the ability to mute on the fly whenever I need to, and I still think it sounds fantastic. And still reigning supreme in my setup is the Elgato Mic Arm LP. This is still by far my favorite mic arm, not just because of the way that it looks, but also the fact that it's never in the way of my peripherals on my side monitor, and it's also super easy for me to just push to the side whenever I want to kick back, relax, and just watch some videos. And when I am relaxing, I like to keep a nice low light vibe, so luckily the Elgato strip lights are on the back of my desk and also around my Elgato wave panels do just that. All of them together make a nice look for the desk and also help break the desk up from the wall, which is clutch. I usually only use the two key lights whenever I'm actually recording and streaming since they do look great, but who wants to have a light in their eyes when they're trying to relax? Not me. Luckily though, I can keep the brightness down fairly low since I am using the Sony a7 IV with the 20mm 1.8f for my camera, so I got plenty of bokeh and also lighting is pretty much never an issue. And yes, this is overkill for a webcam. I didn't buy it to actually use as a webcam, I just had it. So don't go out and spend like $3 grand on a camera for a webcam. That's not what I recommend doing. Unless you got the money, then feel free to go for it. And if you want to send some my way. And one of my favorite additions to this setup is going to be the Anthros chair that I have now. And let me tell you, this thing is heaven on your back and your butt. I absolutely love the way that it looks, and the actual comfort level is unmatched. Like seriously, I've never had a cushion on a chair before that was actually super soft, but also super supportive. I've never ever felt like my butt was sore or it was like rough getting up from sitting in this thing. Like it's really that amazing. Keep in mind, I'm going to be making a full video on this very soon, so stay tuned. Tuned? Like, what am I, like YouTube Dr. Seuss? Speaking of editing, I actually have a whole separate desk for that, but before we check out the desk, let me go and show off some of the displays and the organization that I have in my room. So in my closet, I actually put this massive white shelf with 2 drawers to help me keep organized and also to hold all of my collectibles, cables, peripherals, bags, and also mouse pads on the bottom. I got this from IKEA, although I do love it. I actually have been debating switching this out for a tool chest and some shelving on the wall, but let me know what you think. Do you think I should swap it out or should I leave it the way that it is? This area is actually lit up with the LiftX light strip and the 2 Philips Hue play bars on each shelf, which you can actually find the exact same play bars over on my tech shelf, which is behind my gaming desk. So this shelf is actually from IKEA as well, and it stores more collectibles, but it also stores a lot of the tech that I use from day to day. So that way I have a place to keep it and show it off easily, and it's also accessible for me whenever I need to record stuff. Now, next to this is a rolling cart that I know it doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but honestly, I feel like I could make an entire video on why everyone should have one of these in their setup. But any cables, adapters, and tools that I need, and also charging is gonna be found here on my cart. Having the adapters and charging cables all in one spot is massive. That way it's a huge time saver for me, and it helps me from losing my mind, because that way if I'm looking for something, I know exactly where it is. On the side of my gaming desk, I actually have a small 2-shelf unit that actually holds my Synology, networking gear, and a few other things like journals, candles, and more keyboards. Yes, I know, I have way too many keyboards. I understand. Now I do have one more keyboard actually on display, which is gonna be on the pegboard next to my editing desk. This pegboard is purely just for looks. I do have a few cables on there and maybe some headphones and an old DS and controller. More times than not, I kind of forget the cables are there, so it's really just for looks. But I will say though, I still love this high ground keyboard that I actually got. This is the first Summit keyboard they did, and they did a collaboration with Gundam, and man, this thing is just so clean. And we finally made it over to the editing desk, AKA where the magic happens. Because there ain't magic happening anywhere else in this place. Anyways, so this is actually a sit stand desk, and it was sent to me by Odin Lake. And I will say though, for the quality, the features, and also the price of this thing, it's a pretty incredible sit stand desk, so I might do a full video on it. So let me know if you'd want to see that. But the desk actually holds my M1 MacBook Pro 14-inch, which is my powerhouse for editing at my office and when I'm also on the go. And honestly, this thing has got me through so many different edits and has been with me all through the entire United States. And I gotta say, I still have 0 issues with this thing cutting through footage even years later. Even though this MacBook is perfect in my eyes, I still like to be able to have a bigger screen or an additional screen when editing at home. So I actually do keep my Asus Zen OLED plugged into this, which is my portable monitor, and it's absolutely amazing. Works off of USB Type-C, and the thing just works flawlessly. And to keep this space nice and small and sleek, I actually use the Logitech MX Anywhere 2S, which this is literally the best productivity mouse I've ever used. This thing will literally track on glass, it works super well, and the battery life is absolutely insane. Like, I think I've actually charged this thing maybe a handful of times throughout the year, and that's it. And then to light all of my videos, including this one, I actually use the Godox SL60W with the aperture lantern. This is a huge bright softbox that gives a lot of light to this area because I don't actually have a light inside of this room. And to give me some color and also pop me off the background, I actually use the Govee floor lamp, which I actually have right here behind me. This is such a simple setup, and I might even add a little bit more to it with the intention of small, simple, and also modular for recording and editing. But overall, I do have to say this office is something I could never have imagined having whenever I first started. But I do have a very odd feeling this is probably going to be changing a lot this year, so stay tuned.